What is going on? Hello, people. How are you? Hello, people of the internet. We're back. Back in the New York groove. I'm back in the New York evening. Another episode of Evening coming to you from YouTube world. Yeah, what is going on, guys? This is episode, I lose track, but you will see it in the title what episode we're on. And what we do here on Evening is we go over, just shoot the breeze about life, weekly current events, weekly happenings, and, just talk. You could hit that like and subscribe button. Well, you don't have to. Please do. Check out my other two channels, the Tom Brand one. And you could also check out From the Bleachers Sports Show, and you guessed it, that is sports. That is sports. Sports show. We keep it we keep it fun here at all times. A couple of things to get into. As always, is a lot to the internet, happenings of the internet and the world. Just it never ceases to amaze, right? Betty White, who celebrated, I believe it was 98 years young, celebrated her 98th birthday. She did an interview, and she credited her. She did credit her longevity to a vodka and hot dogs. Vodka and hot dogs are the secrets to a long life, according to Betty White, who's, I believe, 98 years old. 98 years old. See, Betty White, can we just say that Betty White is hardcore? That is hardcore. I can just picture, say you're inviting Betty White like for a night out on a Friday, Saturday night, and you're like, Betty, you want a drink? Want some champagne? Want some wine? No, we're doing shots. Okay. What do you want to do? A shot of? What are we doing shots of? This fruity little drink over here. This fruity little combination over here. No, you pussy. We're doing vodkas, and we're doing vodkas straight up. But Betty, can I have a chaser? No. See, you're doing vodka. Straight up. Straight up, we're doing vodka. I could picture like vodka, like Betty White doing like endless shots of vodka, like all night. Woo! And then Betty White like telling stories from her prime. Warren Beatty had a small schlong. I kid. But yeah, Betty White, hardcore. I can't. Can you guys keep up with Betty White? And Betty White doesn't use a chaser. She's probably like going strong with the vodka. Now imagine Betty White, if she's doing vodka now, and she's probably slowed down a bit, one could imagine. This is her slowing down a bit by doing vodka. Imagine what she was doing in her prime, right? Like, what was she doing, like, in the 40s and in the 50s when she was, like, 30-something years old? She must have been doing, like, 151. Hell, maybe even back in those days, maybe they were actually, like, doing rubbing alcohol just straight. Betty White, hard AF, as the kids say. Wow. When I read that, I'm like, jeez. Betty White. And she does the hot dogs. Now, listen. Listen. Vodka. She got me. I can't keep up with that, man. No, and I don't think none of us could keep up with that. Hot dogs, you got me. I could now. Hot dogs, how many hot dogs does Betty White eat? Maybe it's a hot dog a day, keeps the doctor away. That's right there is a good stuff, a good hot dog. Nothing like a nice, I'd probably go with soubrette hot dog. Bun size, not the ones that are small and the bun is big. You want the ones that fit just right with the bun. Going with the soubrettes. I've heard different scenarios as to what goes on your hot dog, but I think Betty White is a ketchup and sauerkraut type of person. Because that's, and you know what, I would go with that. Ketchup and sauerkraut. A lot of people are like, oh, you put mustard on a hot dog. No. Mustard is absolutely gross. You have to go with the ketchup on a hot dog. If you do not want the sauerkraut, I could see relish being put on a hot dog. I could even see that happening. But you do not. You don't put mustard on a hot dog. You stay away. You stay away from that. The secret to a long life. Now, what about the Nathan's ballpark franks? Do you guys like that? I mean, those are like, or not even. How about the hot dogs? Listen, what we need to discontinue too is, now that we're on the topic of hot dogs, what we need to discontinue, I think, for all of humanity is the hot dogs that are not bun-sized. You are being gypped. You are being gypped out of a hot dog. That is an embarrassment to the name of a hot dog. Honestly. Thirsty, can't you tell? You know, we have ketchup, we have mustard. What we're going to do right now is we're going to rank condiments, ranking condiments in order of importance to society. Number 1, ketchup. It is an absolute necessity for whatever you have. Ketchup could go on everything. It could. It plays a vital role. One might even argue, depending on the soup that you're having, you could even put ketchup in a soup. Would you be able to put mustard in a soup, for example, or radish or salad? No. So, ketchup to me is a universal condiment that could be used for almost pretty much anything. Ketchup is a very important condiment. What is also important, number 2 condiment to me, all time, which is importance, its value could never be diminished. Barbecue sauce. The reason why it is important is barbecue sauce goes on chicken legs, chicken wings. Barbecue sauce is also a key ingredient for nuggets. Oh, I want chicken nuggets. What would you like with that, sir? If you say sweet and sour, no. You're out. You always say a barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce with chicken nuggets. You need barbecue sauce for your chicken legs. Barbecue sauce for your chicken wings. Chicken wings are a necessity for, with barbecue sauce for either wing night, whether that be Tuesday, Thursdays, or Sundays, which is a common time. You need a barbecue sauce. So far we have ketchup, barbecue sauce is the number 1, 1 and 2 condiments. Number 3, the third most, and this is where we'll stop it, the top 3 condiments, we'll say. The third one, salad dressing. Italian salad dressing. The reason why it is important, very important, is this condiment could be used as a marinade as well. It could be used on your potatoes. It could be used on your vegetables. It could be used on your grilled chicken. It could be used on your non-grilled chicken. It is important. Because if you do not like something, let's say if you don't like your string beans, if you don't like your Brussels sprouts, if you don't like your asparagus, if you say, waiter, can I have, some salad dressing on the side, Italian, please? You pour some of that on your plate. Guess what? What you instantly did not like, you now find yourself liking. because of said condiment. This condiment will make things go from unbearable to bearable. Top 3. Let's go over it again. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, Italian salad dressing. And not only that, Italian salad dressing always, to me, is the choice when using with a salad. No ranch, no balsamic, just straight up Italian dressing. Your top 3. You're welcome. As people continue to drive like maniacs here. This is like a common occurrence on evening. Just people driving like absolute maniacs, absolute jerks. Jeez. There was a study, and this is kind of like a no shock here study. There was a study that says that parents still continue to worry about their grown-up children. Their older grown-up children. They worry about them. There are nights, where they aren't able to sleep because they worry. Well, guys, that's a study that I 100% agree with. I mean, my child is not a grown-up. My child is, what he is a child. So I know how much I worry. I think as a parent, you will always worry. And part of the reason I think why you always worry is because you're older, right? So you've gone through a lot. And so I would imagine that you're significantly, for the most part, older than your child, depending on the situation. So your life experiences, kind of influence you, the way you think, what you have experienced. You have experienced things already, and you're able to look back on them that your child has not experienced. Your child is looking to buy their first home. You worry about, how are they going to make it? How are the finances going to work out? Will they be able to upkeep the house? What happens if something breaks? Can they fix it themselves? They don't. You don't want to go through your life savings. They worry. My son John. Johnny has been working. 60 hours this week. He's overtiring himself. I hope it doesn't wear him out. He needs rest. He's not resting. What can we do? That's what, parents do. Parents, are always trying to go, for the most part. It depends. So some parents are always trying to go the extra mile. Which I think is the common thing here. Other parents, the way they look at it, hey, I gave him the tools, I raised them, they're 18. Once they move out, they're on their own. I got my life, they got their life, I still love them, but there's only so much I could do. And I get that, that's what happens too. What I could tell you is, I don't know, to the degree, and I believe that, again, parents do worry. But I think as the generations go by, I think I know, and I'll definitely be worrying about my child or children. But I think, as generations go by, I think there will be, you'll maybe worry less to a degree, because you kind of, the society has evolved. So really certain things that were once a worry maybe are not so much a worry anymore. And I think that happens as generations go by, because what our parents or of my generation were fearful of, because they didn't know, we've already experienced, and we're able to say, hey, mom and dad, that's not exactly how you think it is. This is in actuality what happens. So I think, maybe the lack of maybe not so much the items, the things that we worry about as we become parents is different than what our parents worried about. It might be a little bit less, I think. Certain things in society have evolved and have gotten better. I think if you have, let's say, a daughter, for example, you don't have to worry about your daughter not getting a job. I think it's safe to say women are looked upon as equal for the most part in society. Definitely not all around the world, but in for the most part, women are looked upon as equal. So certain things with society, how they have changed and evolved, what we will worry about as parents, is different than what our parents worry about. I'm sure years down the road now, our kids will look at us and say, hey, why are you worrying about this? Did you know that this is actually how it works now and not the way you did it when you were a kid? So you're always going to worry about your child. Certain things, I think, will always be there that you're going to worry about. Job security, having a roof over your head, health, those type of things never change. So it doesn't matter, how old you are, your parents will still always be worrying about you. I seen a viral video where, the mother was 97 years old, could barely walk, and her daughter, it looks like she was maybe homebound because of her condition, and had a hard time walking. Her daughter, who wasn't feeling too good, was 76 years old, and you still see the 97-year-old mother coming to the aid, coming to the help, the 97-year-old mother coming to the aid, to the help of her 76-year-old daughter. So things like that, will never change. A parent will always worry. What else has been going on in the world? Actually, did want to touch base. We've got a few more minutes to chit-chat with you. And did you hear the story about the fact that chicken nuggets are being sent as bouquets. Kind of, they're done and they're made to resemble flowers. Instead of flowers, you have chicken nuggets that are being sent for Valentine's Day. OMG. Marry me now. Marry me now. Just, when we talk about nuggets, just, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Chicken nuggets. Sorry. Chicken nuggets that gotta be McDonald's. Straight up. Okay. Now I know Wendy's chicken nuggets, they're up there as well. But to me, it's got to be McDonald's chicken nuggets, followed by Wendy's chicken nuggets, followed by Chick-fil-A golden nuggets. Chick-fil-A, not golden nuggets, Chick-fil-A nuggets. And, Chick-fil-A nuggets, you may argue, are not really nuggets. They almost resemble like chicken strips, but they're called nuggets, so we will go with that. Those are the top 3. If you give me a bouquet for Valentine's Day with chicken nuggets, that are McDonald's, Wendy's or Chick-fil-A, in no particular order, you have gotten the key to my heart. I mean, heck, if it's just chicken, who am I kidding? Any form of chicken nugget, I would definitely take. So that's out there, and it's a true thing. Forget about edible, eatable baskets and flowers. No one got time for that. We're just moving on. The chicken nugget bouquets. A disturbing video has surfaced on the internet. And it's just sad. And you could never, I think the moral of this story is you never assume that, what one person, never assume just because something appears one way that is the absolute way it truly is. I'm referring to the video that went viral of a former NBA star in Delonte West, who's actually, from what indications, what it seems like, is suffering from bipolar disorder. It was known. I think, amongst his friends and his peers and his teammates, that he did have bipolar disorder in Delonte West. And, a video surfaced where it looks like he's homeless in the streets of Maryland. It was actually beat up in Maryland. In the middle of the street, he was talking belligerently, incoherently. It was recorded. It went viral. Actually, that police officer that recorded it was, I believe, suspended. But, he has issues. He has mental issues. And he needs help. Delonte West was, a player who made a good, decent amount of money. He played with LeBron James, was his teammate there. He bounced around a couple of years. He flourished with LeBron James in that system that LeBron James played with. And, after he left Cleveland, because I think it's safe to say LeBron James, makes, if you follow sports, makes everyone better. That's where he had his most success. Couldn't really find success after that. Bounced around from a couple teams, bounced around to Korea. And then was, after his playing career, he couldn't latch on to a team. Was working in Home Depot. You've seen pictures of him working in Home Depot. That was the rumor. A few years later, you've seen him walking barefoot, and that's when the speculation was that he, was homeless, and he actually said no, that he's fine, and what he was doing was just helping out someone that was quadriplegic, with shoes and all that, and that's kind of where it was left at. And a few years later, now another video surfaces of what you've seen. Clearly just in bad shape, and I think the stories were floating around that the NBA did try to help him prior. They bought him a home. I think the Players Association, they have reached out and tried to help him, but it just it seems like it's just gone at a whole different level now. So you can't assume that. Don't ever assume that because a player has or had millions of dollars that his life is all grandiose, because it's not. And that's not necessarily the case. Money can't buy you happiness. Yeah, listen, money helps, but that's not the end all be all. And for Delonte West, it clearly was not the money didn't help. I'm not sure if he tried to get help before, if he's come to terms with his situation. I think and you hope that his friends and family are with the NBA now, and his former peers seeing this more recent update from him. You hope that somehow they could reach out to him and do something. And I know that it really comes down to the person. That person wants to get help for anything really to happen, because if you don't want to change, then ultimately you will never change, right? So change begins with yourself. But never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a book by its cover. I think probably the reason why you maybe did not hear much about Delonte West during his playing career, because I know, one thing about mental illness being, I studied psychology in school, and bipolar, and that was actually my major, psychology. The people that have bipolar disorder, for the most part, are able to, if you have a certain structure in your life, it helps you cope better, right? So he had practice, working out in the gym, the games. He had structure, so he was able to keep it in check. And then once that left, and once he didn't have basketball on a full time in his life, that maybe, is why it kind of, reared its ugly head. Who knows? This is just all, speculation and, everything. You hope, you pray. All the best wishes for Delonte West. Hopefully someone is, or something happens where, he's able to get the help that he needs. Sometimes the best that you could do, sometimes, just saying, "Are you okay?" goes a very long way. I hope everything's okay, and I look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon. Thank you for watching another episode of Evening. Take care.